name is Kari. This is Tiger Lily Designs. Welcome to Flosstube episode 106. Welcome, yay, happy August. It's been over a month since I have been here. I have missed you. I've got lots to catch you up on, but without further ado, we're just gonna jump right into today's episode. As I love to do, I'm gonna give you a little table of contents. I got a full page of things we're going to talk about today. So we're just going to talk about, let me give you a little synopsis of what we're going to chit chat about today. In the meantime, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My channel is about quilting and stitching and knitting and generally making of all the things. I hope you consider subscribing and sticking around and joining the Tiger Lily family. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and all of your faithful and loyal support. So, let's just run through what we're going to chat about today. Hope you've got some stitching or knitting or making in general to keep you busy while we run through today's agenda. I've got WIPs, handful of WIPs, not a lot. It's been a month. You'd think I'd have more, but I don't. I have some stitching WIPs. I do have a stitch finish, so that's exciting. We're going to chit chat all about Stitch Florida. So that was the retreat I went to in July. I made a couple trips to Clemson, so that's a little bit of a personal update. That's always going to be at the end in case it's not your jam. I've got some stitchy kindness. I've got some haul. I've got lots of knitting updates. We're going to talk about the July Keeper Club. That one came out in July and all that was inside that. And we're going to also talk about, it is my almost, actually it happened already, but we're going to celebrate it at the end of the month. My 3-year Flosstube anniversary. Can I believe it? No, I cannot. August of 2021 is when I had my first Flosstube. I can't believe it. It was one of those things. That's when I took Noah off to Clemson, came home, had a little bit of empty nest. It was just me and Lily, and I decided to join the Flosstube family, and I haven't looked back since, and I've loved every second of it. So we're going to have a big celebration at the end of August. More details to come. We're going to talk about that later. So that is the run through, the table of contents, and all the things for today's video. So like I said, grab some stitching, grab something good to drink, and let's get started. We're going to jump right into the stitching first because it's Flosstube anyway. Although I feel like my channel is all about just making tube. I don't know, all the things, and quilting and making and knitting and doing and all the things, but we're going to jump into the stitching first in case that's why you're here. Like I said, I do have, look at the table, I got 3 WIPs and a stitching finish, so let's just dive in. Here, I've got my collection of bags. These are the WIPs. Let's just dive in and see what we've got. So this was the herringbone project bag that we made together. This, so close, so close. It is Blueskin by Plum Street Samplers. Oh, I so wanted to get this done, but again, we'll talk about my life at the end of it, and maybe you'll understand why. But I'm so close, and again, it's still in the hoop because I was doing some cherry fill-in while I was at Stitch Florida. So this guy is close. I'll take him out of the hoop so you can see a little more batter. Although there are hoop marks, I did not iron. Shame on me, but so close. There's supposed to be a cherry down here. He's almost done. I need to give him some hair. I mean, literally like one more night and I think this guy would be done. So fun. Although probably now that it's August, I'm not quite as motivated as I was to get it finished to go out with my patriotic display, because I will be pulling my patriotic display away and putting it away for this season. It usually stays up for most of August, but I'm just going to be real with myself. I'm not going to get this done before then, but it's going to be great for next year. That's exciting. So I should be able to get that one done. Maybe even start the next one. I do want to start Nelson. So maybe I'll make a plan, do the things for Nelson for next year. What's another one? Okay. So this is the one that got the most love when I was at the retreat because I had it set myself up for success, in fill-in. I only fill in at retreats because I know myself. If you've ever been to a retreat with me, you will know that I am just, yes, even more so than I do on videos. I know, can you believe it? But if I don't just have fill-in, I end up frogging. That's just all there is to it. I will frog all day long because I'm not paying attention. I'm kind of chit-chatty and all the things. So fill-in is the only thing I can do. So I set myself up for this project has some great fill-in. It's another Plum Street, shocker. No, it's not a Plum Street only episode. There are 2 other designers coming, but this is the American Sampler. I'm doing this with my own color conversion. It is 2 Belle Soie silks, classic colorworks. Sorry, they're all in there. I put this silks in a bag to kind of keep them I don't know. Rather than being on a floss ring, I should put them in floss away bags, but I'm not a big fan of the floss away bags. Anyway, so here is a screenshot of my color conversion. I know there's a lot of friends that actually have started it or using it. It's all the things. In true Tiger Lily fashion, what is my color conversion? It's just a brightening up of the colors. As you can see, the colors are a little dark, which is great. It's just not my style. My style is a little more bright, and you will see when I pull out the stitching. You know, it's a red house. It's a brick house. It's just a brighter red. Or the green is not so evergreeny, darky, dingy, greeny. Anyway, I did a color conversion. And yes, I have a hanging thread, and I probably just lost the needle. Oh, pickles. No. Okay, good. Woo-wee. I am stitching this on. Let me look at my project tracker card. Here it is right here. But I got to put my glasses on if I think I'm going to read it. 36 count Lakeside vintage exemplar. This project is 227 by 189, so she's quite a big girl, but 36 count. The design is going to be 10.5 by 12.5. Just big enough not to fit in a standard frame. That's going to be a problem for framing me later, future me. But here we are. So again, sorry about the wrinkles. That's my project library tag. So you can see what I have done since last time you've seen her is all this grass filling. Like I said, I set myself up for a little bit of non-frogging success at the Florida retreat. So this was just grass for days, as well as I did some roof, I believe. And that's where I left it. Obviously, you see the hanging thread. Lots to do. This is not a quick stitch, at least if I'm not monogamous. It's not, but slow and steady, I will get her done. I love this. I already have a place in my house where she's going to hang. So I am motivated, but you know, stitching. So that was that one. Let's go. So this is one that I have pulled out just here since in the last week or two, because since I got back from my travels, I'll give you my whole rundown of what you do. Why was July so crazy? I'll give you that rundown a little bit. But since I have been back, it has been blinders on, nose to the ground, work, trying to catch up for being gone for 16 days out of the studio. So since the long days equal mushy brain at the end of the day. So what did I do? I pulled out some comfort stitching. Now, if you've been around, you've seen this bag for a while because this project has been an ongoing project. And what is it? Let me show it to you. Let me close it up so I'm not sharing charts with you. I was just stitching on these last night. So these are the Prarie Schooler Santas. Now, it was Jolly July. That has come and gone, but it's August and I can still do it. So these are the Christmas 12 days. I love a good Christmas series. I love a good ornament series. I love all the things. I don't know how many. I think I have 5 left to do. Yes, I have 5 left to do. So that means I have done 7 of them that are either stitch finished, fully finished. I don't know. I'll have to wait till I pull out my Christmas tree ornament box. But I have some more to work on. Now the reason this is comfort stitching is because it's on Aida. And yes, I have embraced and enjoyed stitching on linen, but comfort for me is Aida. There is no super magnifiers. I can just, it's easy and account. And the great thing about these Prarie Schooler Samplers, Santas, it's a lot of fill-in. And I had set these up for some Zoom call stitching. And so, which we actually ended up not doing. So they were all set up for mushy brain stitching. I'm not quite sure that's a very flattering situation, but anywhoosie. So I have just made some random progress. I'm just going to show you. So here's 9 and 10. Yeah, working on it last night. Just, stopped mid-stitch. Yes, I do. So you can see I am just getting these up. Now, when you're looking at these, you're like, wow, those are bright. If you're a first time here, yes, I have a full Tiger Lily custom conversion. I know if you're going to get mad at me for changing Prarie Schoolers colors, sorry. I like bright. I like, to me, Christmas is bright red. So, back in, I don't know when. It's been a hot minute since I started these. Couldn't tell you. I did I think in 2022. 2022, I was an Aurifil artisan. And so, Aurifil thread, fabulous. So, I ended up doing a full color conversion to their 12 point weight. So, the great thing, but the problem is, see, it's not a problem, but I have to order more. So there's my red. There's barely any pink. I don't even know. But so it's a 12, it's Aurifil 12 weight thread. And so it's just their, so Aurifil is a thread company, sewing machine, 40 weight, 50, 60, all the sewing machine thread, right? Yeah. But they also do floss, 6-stranded floss that is on the wooden spools. Lori Holt uses them all the time. She does her little custom boxes and things. But they offer a 12 weight. And so 12 weight is very comparable to like a sulky, where you only have to use one strand, but you get the coverage of like 1 3/4, not a full 2 strands of DMC, but just like almost a 2-strand coverage, but with only 1 strand of thread. So that's exciting. So I love this, and you pull it right off the spools, easy peasy. The red, I don't know, I've done 7. I need some more red. I think I need some more red, more green, and more brown, and then I will be able to finish these 5. So I have 5 left to do. I have 3 that are in various stages of projects. I do a lot of color completing. I get that term from my friend Handmade by Sarah W. But it's one of those things where if I have like the pear, you can see there's a pear in each one. It's adorable. But if I get that, golden pear on my needle, I went ahead and I use it until it's gone, right? And so I just do that with these 3 different ones. So that's what I've been working on here lately. I'm probably going to get to the point where I'm going to need to order more red and green and brown. Some of the colors that I've used all up. But that's pretty awesome. 1 whole spool, maybe 2, and I got all 12 done. This is on a 16 count Zweigart. Actually, it could be Witchell. It's like it's a 16 count, just not hand dyed, off the bolt, creamy color. I forget exactly. And of course, my project tracker card has long since disappeared in the last 2 years. You would think it would be able to stay handy in my bag, but sometimes things walk. If you were looking for my color conversion, I will link, I have a blog post on my blog that will give you the color conversion from DMC to the brighter colors of Aurifil 12 weight. You can buy those, some of them at Fat Quarter Shop. I will link the colors that you can get there below as well. But then you also, Hawthorne Fabrics has the entire 12 weight Aurifil line. So no affiliation, just, helping a sister out. All right. So my last Stitchy share is a finish for you guys. This is an oldie. Again, I know just from where this is this is also from 2022 because I did it with Aurifil. Like I said, Aurifil Artisans, that means they sponsored a lot of my things. If I used shared some of their stuff. And so that was fun. And so I did, this is my project tracker card. Yeah, I haven't lost this one. What does it say? I don't know. Let's see. This is Margaret Felicia Dyson from Fox and Rabbit. I'm stitching this on 20 count LFA popover Legacy Fiber Arts fabric. Sue, she's fabulous. Love her fabric, her Ada, her linen, all the things. Sue, are you going to start dyeing again? Come on. Hopefully sometime soon. Right now she's just in Yarnlandia. I love it. So again, I did a full color Aurifil I did a conversion to Aurifil floss on this one, not the 12 weight. So this is 233 by 233. I started this on August 18th, 2022. So with this, there's all my pretty Aurifil floss. So like I was saying, this is the Aurifil floss. It comes on the wooden spool. It's just like 6-stranded floss like DMC. You pull off a strand, and then I created this little project keeper situation. So this is my extra, when you use 1 strand or 20 count. Yeah, I'm using 1 strand. So I would just, I'd have 5 strands left. I wanted to be able to corral them because you can't corral them again on the bobbins. So this was my own little design. I used a vintage stitch. I love to use that. Chart. Don't want to show you that. Here is the original chart. This is Fox and Rabbit. If you've been around a while, you know that I changed it all up. Like I said, I changed the colors as well as the design. I went ahead and I made it shorter. I took away the words, brought the border down, and did a little rejuging. Now, I should have ironed this because it's a finish, but I have not. So, forgive me, but I have finished. So that's exciting. Yay. Yay. Okay, so this is, like I said, this is a fully finished. Now, this was, like I said, I changed it since I brought it down. I went ahead and I kind of like brought some of the motifs from the top and did a little vignette of those motifs over here rather than symmetrical of this dragon footy type flower. But anyway, besides that, I love it. It is funky and fabulous, and it's going to look great on my wall here in my studio. I'm super excited. I have a nice big chunky, good scrap of the 20 count, which is fantastic. Sue's fabric is fabulous, so I hope to be able to find a project to use that for. So that is my finish, friends. All right, friends, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little bit of stitchy kindness / haul. We're going to stay in the stitching theme. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to organize my videos because they are all multi-crafting now. There's a lot of stitching and EPP. We're doing the Granny Grumpy Susan quilt along. Have you joined? Are you doing it with us? Back to August. I need to working on my August block. I left July. I didn't do a July block. I used my June to go to July. I can do it. But I need to catch up. I need to stay focused. So Grumpy Susan. Anyway, there's lots of different segments that are not going to be part of my floss tube. And so I am going to try to segment it into different quadrants, areas. I don't know. Rather than to try to keep it organized in case you're not a multi-crafter and you only want to do the stitching. You know, I don't want you to like get bored with the knitting and then have to wait for more stitch. Anyway, so I'm going to try to do stitching, but then there's also going to mesh. It's just going to meld. It's, you know, the creative, crazy brain of Tiger Lily. Hope you're okay with it. But anyway, we're going to stick a little bit into the stitching. Let's talk about Stitch Florida and a little bit of stitchy kindness and haul and things that are associated with stitching. Okay, Stitch Florida. Bonkers. Okay, first. Fabulous retreat. Like, hands down, off the charts. Alicia and Annie knocked it out of the park. Like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. They were fabulous. Their families were fabulous. It was so awesome. I'm so proud of these ladies. I love them so much, and they did such a great job. They've already announced Stitch Florida 2025. It's in September next year. I do believe there's a handful of spots. Go check out Alicia's Instagram. I think she's just posted about it within the last day or two that there was a handful of spots left. If there's not, get on the waiting list because I know a lot of people, you know, things change. And so there's definitely a reason to get on the wait list if it's something you're interested for. But Stitch Florida, let me give you a little bit of a rundown in case this is your first time hearing of it. Like I said, Alicia, the fanciful flamingo, and Annie, the proper stitcher, worked together, teamed together to create this wonderful retreat. There was no specific designer as a retreat. It was kind of just a 3-day stitch adventure. She did bring in 3 different presenters. I was honored enough to be asked to be a presenter. I did a custom cording class. I was honored. And then the company I was in was fantastic. Chantel from 141 did a finishing board retreat. And then Jeannie Massey did a how to personalize your sampler like discussion. It was fabulous. But it was a great retreat. It was Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, all full days. It was great for me. I've kind of like had a retreat overload. Here in this like May, June, and then July, I did the Nicola retreat in May in Ohio. And then I did StitchCon in June, again in Ohio. And then July, Stitch Florida in Orlando. So I now have a break. I don't have any other retreats scheduled for the rest of 2024. I did, but I have canceled it now because life changes and conflicts in the schedule. So I had to let that one go. So right now I don't have any retreats, but let's talk about Stitch Florida. It was fabulous. Like I said, the doors opened on Thursday morning. I got there Wednesday because I was also honored to be offered a spot in the pop-up shop. So that she had like this annex vendor room situation that was right off the main ballroom. It was in an Embassy Suites. So it was kind of like one of those wedding venue type places. There's only 150 women. Yes, they were all women. 150 participants, stitchers coming to stitch. Nice, roomy, big tables. There were only 6 people at each table, but we talked and we were like, these are roomy. So it was great size tables, great size space, lots of, you know, she didn't overcrowd it, which was awesome. I love that. And then right attached to the room was a vendor room. And in that vendor room, Alicia and Annie had procured and collected and curated a collection of vendors in the industry so you can shop. You know, one thing that's different than other retreats, you know, if there's a designer, she would bring her pop-up shop, or she would bring things, or if there's, you know, if a store is hosting a retreat, they're of course going to, you know, bring all their store stuff. Well, Alicia and Annie, now Annie's a designer, and Alicia does have a subscription box, which if you don't know, her links will be down below. Definitely check out her bi-monthly subscription box, as well as she has a sampler subscription box. It's not a subscription, like one-time purchase box. That's in September. I've already ordered it. It's coming, I think, in like August. I don't know if there's any left. I will link down below if there are any, but I'm sure she's going to be doing it again. So it's a little bit different because of that. And so what they did is there were like 3 or 4 of us bag makers and makers in general. Chrissy from Finally a Farm Girl was there. Sweet Wing Studio was there. Gorgeous. Annie the Proper Stitcher was there. The Scissorists, which now goes by Trey Chic Stitchery, I think. Anyway, there was lots of, and then Chantel from 141 had all the boards you could ever think about needing. Lots and lots of things. And so I was honored to be a part of that pop-up shop as well. So I do want to show you one thing. They're gone now, but I did create this fabulous, because I couldn't help myself. If you don't know, I'm Tiger Lily Designs, right? Tiger, yeah, Clemson Tigers. And then Alicia is the Fanciful Flamingo. Now, I met Alicia, I don't know, a couple years ago, I think. I don't know. When's our anniversary, Alicia? Do you remember? Anyway, so I had to merge us together. I had created this custom design graphic, had Spoonflower print me some fabric, and I made these project bags exclusive to Stitch Florida. I did have some extra. They are sold. They were on, I launched them on Patreon, and then they sold out. So it pays to be part of my Patreon if you ever want to see any like exclusive Tiger Lily things. Anyway, so the retreat was fantastic. So like I said, Wednesday I got there, set up the room, met with my friends. This was just after a whirlwind when I'm going to talk to you about like life. Yeah, crazy. It was fabulous to just get away and not be part of work because yes, I was selling in the pop-up shop, but really my favorite part, I will tell you hands down, my favorite part of being part of the vendor room was being able to meet Tiger Lily customers. In that, you know, I recognize, so when you come up, I've been at retreats before, right? And everybody's got your name tags. I didn't bring mine over, but you got your little name tag. Well, I've been doing this in my Keeper Club box for a while now. So I reckon, and everybody, everything is done by me, by my own 2 hands. So I see these names. I see my frequent fans. I recognize the names. And so when someone comes up to my booth and I look at their name to address them as a, you know, I love to say, hi, Barbara, how are you? Or good morning, or, you know, so I want to make that personal connection. I look at them and I'm like, oh, I know you. I'm now able to put a face to a name of someone who is so supportive of my business and my small business and my family. I just am honored. That was my favorite part, like I said, of meeting the people that show my shop love. And so I just felt like I wouldn't have had that opportunity if I had just been at the retreat. I don't think some people would have come up to me and I wouldn't have had the same connection. So that was my favorite part of being able to be part of the vendor room, is being able to meet people that appreciate me and love the Tiger Lily things that I do. Anyway, without getting all sappy and stuff. Okay, so I'm at the table, Stitchy table, love. It was like a little cohort of tables. You know, there's 6 people at a table, but there were many more of us that wanted to be together. So we kind of made this little collection of tables. So we would table hop and do all the things. And we brought food in. And so I got to meet some friends that I hadn't met before and make new friends that I've already started communicating with via Instagram, messaging all the time. I can't wait. We've kind of like, maybe we want to do our own little private retreat of that. That's just the greatest thing about retreats, is you create these friendships out of stitching. It's bonkers. Like, I'm not the first person to say this. This is, you know, people, it's just like a broken record, I think, but it's true. It is 100% true. That is what you do. And I can't wait to see all these people again. Like I said, I don't have a retreat booked, but we're gonna, right? Yeah, we're going to stitch together. And really, did we stitch? I mean, I think we did. We got a little stitching in. Anyway, so I'm going to insert a video right here. These, rather than me showing you all the things, the greatest thing one of the things that just blows my mind every time I go to a retreat is the generosity of stitchers. Stitchers are bonkers and generous. And so I received so many goodies. Just people stopping by, people leaving it without me being there, people making a point to come up and bring me something personally that they had embroidered with my name on it. I was blown away by the generousness of this community and the people in it. Blown away. So I am going to just shoot it over here to a little video where I kind of just laid out all the goodies. If I had just shown it to you one by one, that could have been a video one by itself. But I wanted to show you guys all the things that I did receive, and it was crazy. I am so appreciative. I've put it all away. But I took a video to share you guys some of the things that were table mate gifts, that were just retreat gifts, that were fan gifts, all the things. So isn't that bonkers? Okay, I did want to show you guys up close 3 of the project bags because I was just really like blown away. I was honored and so excited to finally be able to meet Rika from House of Stitch and Stash in person. She was at my table. So this was her table mate project bag. And of course, we're both project bag makers. So we can appreciate when someone gives us a bag. We're like, I know how much this took. The time, all the things. So I love it. I can't wait to put a special project in this bag for my sweet friend Rika. And then I had 2 friends come up to me. This is Lisa. Her business is called Handcrafted by Harvey. And she brought me this beautiful bag that she made for me. Beautiful oranges. So Stitch Florida, the logo had oranges, right? Are you even? Can you even? Look at that. First of all, it's beautiful orange. Like, oh. I think I just want this one to set up. Like, I'll find a project to put in it. Don't worry. It'll be super special, but wow. And then last but not least, my friend Maria came up and she's like, I made a little something for you. Yes, you did. Oh my gosh. Stitch Florida 2024 Kari. Can you believe it? It's a beautiful, like I said, project bag makers. When you gift a project bag, I know how much this means. So I appreciate it. I appreciate everything, but I did just want to highlight those 3 things real quick, give them a little special thing because I really just, wow, above and beyond. And then one more thing I wanted to highlight that was on the gift of tables was another one of my table mate gifts. Her name is Jodie. Jodie from Simply Stitching Ocala. The reason I want to bring this to your attention is because Jodie has started her own Etsy shop. Now, she started it a couple months ago, but she's ramping up. She's slowly adding things to her shop. So I would definitely link her Etsy shop down below, which is great. It's this perfect one-stop shop. And so I wanted to show you what she kitted up and did for us. It's an example of what she has in her Etsy shop. First of all, it came in this adorable, like autumnal theme bag. Fabulous. But it was the Plum Street Hello Fall, and it's fully kitted. Yeah, so she has in her Etsy shop, she has lots of awesome things. So what she does is she'll She has cross stitch kits, so you can get all the floss, everything you need. You just add fabric. She doesn't do cross stitch fabric as part of the kits because everybody's likes and favorites are different, right? So this way, that's not something to keep you away. It's a chart and floss, fully kitted, fabulous. But then the other thing that Jodie has, which I think is genius, and I told her so, was finishing kits. Now, sometimes if you're not a quilter, and you don't have the collection of fabric like I do, finishing your projects, whether it's an ornament or a Dobo pillow or anything small and cute, can sometimes be a little like worrisome or nerve-wracking because you're like, I just need one fat quarter for this one little pillow. You don't want to buy a huge fat quarter bundle or a huge thing, a huge, 20 fabric collection for one little fabric. Jodie has curated finishing bundles. Genius. Okay. In that, I think she has now, of course, I did not look before I came over here to tell you about it. So hopefully she's got what I've tell you. She did. Maybe if it's not there, it's coming back. She did like Christmas theme bundles and patriotic theme bundles. And what it is, so it's very comparable to this, but this was just the one, right? So she gave me one fat quarter that's perfect, coordinates with this stitch. This is the piece of felt to cover up your back. So when you finish it, and then a piece of, looks like Lady Dot chenille that coordinates color-wise with this stitch. Okay, so fabulous. So she has bundles again for Christmas that are gonna have like 3 to 5 fabrics with the rickracs, with the chenilles, with the finishing accoutrement, and the little felt pieces all put together in an easy add to cart bundle. It's a no-brainer. And then one of the things that she just started adding, and I think her packaging has changed a little bit, but the concept is awesome, is the same, is these round needle minders. I think she just added like 8 or 10 of them new to her shop. Obviously, Retreat Friends isn't applicable to you, but she has some great ones like about chickens and cows and Stitchy Friends and Mimi Life. It's so cute. So I just wanted to highlight and share my sweet friend Jodie's shop. Check her out. Favorite her shop on Etsy. She doesn't like to share a lot on social media, but I want to share. I want to scream for her. Go support her. She's doing so fabulous. And these bundles and these things, I just want her business to thrive. So I was super excited for Jodie, and I wanted to share you that was one of the things that she gifted. So let's talk about my cording class, just quick like. I'm not going to do the cording class for you because I have a video tutorial. I will link it down below if you ever want to watch it. But what I did is I did create this cute little postcard. I don't know. I felt a little like, Alicia, this could take me like 3 minutes. Like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. So I got up there. I had so much fun. Had a blast up there talking about cording. But I had my friend Jodie and Jessica Sweetwater. They were up there being my like Vanna Whites, helping me do the demonstrations. But I passed out this cording class postcard. And so if you ever want to get this, if you ever buy something from the Tiger Lily shop, just put in your remarks that you want to, I have extra of the postcards, and I'll just throw it in your order like free and like no big deal. It's really not that hard. It's just like my 12-step process. There's also a QR code that takes you to the video I already have here on YouTube that shows you how to do it. The video shows you how to do it with the power tool. I did it with the class with the Kreinik tool, right? And so these are just, yeah, it's custom cording. It's not easy, but it is easy. And so these are all the cordings I made for the class, in the class, with the class. My favorite was when friends that had never made cording before, but they had their tools and they were ready to go. And, I did my little presentation with the microphone. It was weird. It was awkward, but I had fun. And then I had friends come up, with their tools ready to go, following the steps with their tools and their floss, and they wanted to go home with cording, right? So it was great. So many friends were like, aha, they had that aha moment. And that was awesome. So that was the best. That was Stitch Florida Retreat. It was great. Perfect location, being that we were able to walk when we went to dinner. We had lunches like door dashed in. It's Orlando. Nobody wants to go out in that traffic. And you don't have to, because DoorDash brought us our lunches. And then for dinner, one dinner was supplied with the retreat, fantastic. And then the other ones, we basically just walked across the street. You're right there on International Boulevard, which, you know, Orlando, right there in the heart of the things. And there was like 4 restaurants right across, like literally, you know, you cross nothing and you had options. And so my little table group thing went to 3 different, I don't remember, but we went out to dinner. We didn't have to get in our car once. I didn't move my car. Once I parked my car, I didn't move my car until it was time to leave. So that was awesome. The location, on point. So I love it. And it's right there in Orlando, all the things. So it was a great retreat. Like I said, get on the wait list, sign up if you haven't already. These girls throw a fantastic retreat. It is a party. It is a party. So that is Stitch Florida. So on my way to Stitch Florida, because I did drive Virginia to Clemson to Orlando. Okay. We'll talk about my whole life story a little bit later, but I was driving to Orlando. So I did take a detour and stop at Inspired Needle. I always love to stop at a cross stitch store or a yarn store or whatever I can find, kind of to break up, you know, just break up the drive, right? So I did stop Inspired Needle. This was a cross stitch store. It was right off of 95, so it was super convenient. On the way to Orlando. I was restraining because I was on my way to the retreat, so I wanted to save my money a little bit, but I can't help it. Buying fabric in person is one of my favorite things to do. So I did check out their fabric and pick up a couple pieces, and I thought it would be fun to show because it's always fun to see. So I did get 2 pieces of fabric, both R&R linen, which is super fun. It's hard to find, so, you know, when you can, I loved it. This is called Creme Brulee from R&R. It's a beautiful hand-dyed, goldeny neutral. Beautiful. I'm excited to add that to my collection. And then a piece of R&R, and this color is Ligonier Latte. So sweet. So it's just a little bit darker. So you can see, it's always fun to see them next to each other, right? So one's a little dark. They're not super dark, but just nice, 2 nice neutrals that I got at Inspired Needle. They had beautiful, they had lots jam-packed in that store. It was kind of like from ceiling to like literally the floor. I know that some of my other friends stopped on their way or actually made special trips from Orlando because it was about an hour and a half from Orlando up there. But that was super fun. So in the meantime, now while I was gone, I also got some Stitchy kindness, some haul, some share with from Fat Quarter Shop. They are generous enough and they sent me a fabulous package of July goodies that I want to share with you guys. And we're going to have some giveaways in today's video. So let's just look at some of the new things that Fat Quarter Shop has. So have you seen the Berry mini sampler, Simply Signs? So they're doing a whole Simply Signs series and it's super adorable. And the July one was this berry one. So sweet. Let me give you some of the details on it. It is 56 by 140. It's a nice, you can see they're using a variegated floss. So that's how they're getting all that funky variegation in the blue. I love that. It is only a 5-color stitch. Super sweet. And so if you're interested in winning this chart, you're going to use the word berry. Yay. So in today's video, if you want to win the chart, you want to make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and use the keywords in the comments. That's it. There's just going to be a handful. I'm saving most of the giveaways, yes, friends, for the 3-year Flosstube extravaganza confetti candy party at the end of the month. But we'll throw in a couple giveaways in today's video because it's always fun, right? This is the June sailboat. This is part of their mason shelf life. They always look like mason jars to me. So sweet. So you could put it in the mason jar, but maybe you just want to do the little boat as an ornament. It would be so sweet. If you're not like a fan of the full coverage, which that's a commitment, right? But that boat is so sweet with the seagulls. It just screams summer. So you're going to use the word sailboat if you want to be entered to win that one. And then the last cross stitch that Fat Quarter Shop shared with us is part of their hometown neighborhood. And this is the Beehive House. This is such a cute series that Lori Holt is doing. There's a new house every time. This is number 2 of 12. How sweet is that? I'm going to save this one. I think I've got number 1 and maybe we'll just collect them all and give them away. It's one big bundle later on. But this one is so sweet. They're doing one of these every month and it's a sweet year-round check it out collection. So again, all of these will be linked down below. So while we're on Fat Quarter Shop, there were 2 other things in the box, but they're quilty related, but that's okay, right? Yeah, you guys are excited about it. So this is the Hidden Stars quilt. This is a new quilt by Kim Deal. It looks like it's jelly roll friendly. It may not be. It says ½ yard each. But you know what? These little strips look like they could be jelly rolls. I don't know how I don't know how the pattern is written up, but it's very, very sweet and simple. And it would be a nice focus piece for some fabrics that you have been saving. And last but not least is a new book that just dropped, and I'm so excited about it. It is called Strawberry Garden. And it, like I said, it's by It's So Emma, and it's got some great quilts in it. It's a sampler quilt and companion projects. All right, so let's see if I can show. Look at that. Look at that leaf project. That is a sweet one. That is a table topper. This is a geese in the garden quilt. So fun. I love, okay, that kind of looks like Christmas today with the orange in the, no, of course there's a sampler quilt too. This is the Argyle sweater quilt. So fun. And then this is the sampler that has all the different blocks. But the Argyle sweater quilt, oh, this is a sweet one. Look at this cottage blooms quilt. That's fun. Fun. And then a crisscross pillow. So maybe you're like, quilt's too much. Look at that. That would make a super adorable project bag. Let's see. What do you need for that one? Scraps. 16 scraps. 2.5 inch squares. All this is 2.5 inch squares, scraps. That's perfect. What a great scrap buster. Going to the market pillow or going to the market project bag, because, you know, I love to turn a block into a project bag. Oh, vintage bow tie. This is so fabulous. This is another scrappy quilt. Look at that vintage bow tie. So it would great and use up your scraps. 1/4 yard scraps, so just 3.5 inch squares, 5 charm packs. Do you have charm pack squares? So, okay, and then with the vintage baskets, which is kind of my favorite, I think. How cute would that be as a table runner if you did them like off each? Anyway, so that is in this fabulous Strawberry Garden book by Fat Quarter Shop. Link down below if that's something you want to do. I am going to make some time for myself. Like I do want to do some fun things, right? So it's not just work. I mean, it's not, I have other things, but I want to quilt again. The quilty bug is like chomping at the bits, and I want to make some things, whether it's a big quilt or a little quilt or a runner or whatever, but I want to do it. I need to carve out the time. I've got the fabric. I could do it. Okay, friends, let's dive into knitting, shall we? Yay. So as I mentioned, sometimes, okay, July, bonkers, right? So I was on airplanes and airports and delays and lots of things, out of my studio, out of my comfort zone. I was in Clemson 3 different times. I had to move Lily, college apartments, all the things. So travel projects for me need to be mindless. And what is better than a sock knitting? I am so thankful that I am now like super into the sock knitting. I don't know how many pairs of socks I can wear at a time, but that doesn't matter because I can just knit them. And it's perfect and it's mindless and I love it. So since I was here last, I showed you guys, I had a finish. I went back and I checked. I was like, have I really not shown them any of these? And no, I have not. So, because it's been a month. So I have lots of different socks in different various stages of the process. And so I thought it'd be fun to show it to you because they're all different. Now, when I was here last, because I went back and I referenced, I showed you guys this yarn. This is, as a yarn, I consume yarn podcasts now too. And so just in case you want to get into I want to share you guys what it is. So this is Knitted Wit sock in the color Rosie the Riveter. This was a pair, this was a skein of yarn that I had got in Washington State in May when I was visiting my aunt. And so I got one for me and one for Shelly. And it was my patriotic. And so I actually started it 4th of July-ish, somewhere around there. And so I have one, let me get my blocker. Socks always look more pretty on blockers. So here is my 4th of July patriotic sock. I did I'm experimenting with my leg my ideal leg, my perfect leg, I should say. This is just a vanilla sock. This is knitting round and round. I'm letting the yarn do all the focusing. And so that's great. Look how pretty that yarn is. And so I do love a good pop of color cuff, heel, and toe. And so I went to my mini skein collection and I auditioned red or blue or white, but I just felt like this like, I gotta call it dingy white. I don't know, dingy-ish white, not bright white, complemented this yarn perfectly. So this is what I've got. And like I said, I'm auditioning different legs. So this is a 50 round leg. I did a 10 row 2x1 cuff. That is my favorite cuff right now to knit. Whether I like it when I wear it, I don't know. Of course, I did my Shelly's heel and then my toe, right? Okay, so that's that one. And so I do have my next one. Yay, it is ready. It is at the heel port. So I need to work on that. That's the problem. Heels and toes are not mindless for me, so they have to get like special, I don't know. It takes a little more thinking. So a lot of times they get like kind of get stalled in that segment. So that's where that one is. And then at some point I decided to start this one. This one is beautiful. Let me show you this yarn. That's because I could not resist. This is Christy from Stitching with Yarn, hand dyed in Oklahoma. I featured her during the 12 days of Stitchmas. I love her Instagram. I love her Instagram feed, but then I also don't love it because I end up having to buy it all because her yarn is so gorgeous. And I love that she shows you samples of it knitted up because it's kind of hard to tell from a skein. So this is a yarn that I have bought and started knitting with since I was here last. So here it is, all caked up pretty like Christmas in July, right? Yes, because that's fabulous. And it was a sock set. So it came with that and that. So fun, right? So that was perfect. And I've got this one ready for the toe. Again, look at that yummy, yummy yarn. Again, that's the great thing about vanilla socks and funky yarn. It does all the work. You can just vanilla, mindless stitch. I stitch on I knit on 9-inch circulars, 1.5 US, not a 1.5. That was my sweet spot. This is again, another 50. I use the little gourd pins to mark every 10 rows so that I don't have to count all the time. So that's perfect. And then for my toe, I use this handy dandy blocker that I got on Etsy. I will link her down below. She's a sweet little Virginia company. So I can just measure how long until I get to where I want my toe to be. And then now I'm ready for my toe and I need to just get that on, right? Okay, so that's that one. Yes, there's more. Because when your favorite, so my favorite person to watch right now in the world of knitting is Summer Lee. Have you seen this book? It's bonkers. It's awesome. I will link it down below. I think it's back in Amazon. It was sold out for a while and then it was back. Anyway, it's perfect. She's got all these funky, it's great for if you are new to socks, and it's got all the basics, like from, I don't know, anything to color work, like, but all the, and it's so pretty. Like, I don't want to show you, but it's just full of pretty pictures and colors and all the things. Great, great reference tool. I love it. Okay, so I love the book, bought the book. Love her. She's got a podcast on YouTube. Great. She's super fun to watch, entertaining. Just like a week ago, I was watching her latest video and she was announcing her color work cuff club. So I was like, well, I've done color work with a sweater. It is now in frog timeout land because I messed up. But I was like, well, you know, a sock maybe is a better place to invest in trying out color work because it's not a huge, it's not quite the commitment as a sweater. So I was like, okay. And so you get this base pattern and you're going to get a different color work. Like, go watch her video. I will link it. But she dropped, August has 2 color works. And I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, so this is one of the August. This is the one that was like, okay, stop, pause the video, go to Ravelry, add to cart, check out now. Because I was gifted this beautiful, look at this. This is Magpie Fibers. in their base, in their sock base called Swanky. I was given this beautiful sock color yarn from my friend Liz. Hello from Liz Matthews when we were at StitchCon. She knew that she's a Knox sock knitter. She's new to it. I love it. And she knew that I loved it. And of course, love this color, but I had to save it for something. I was like, well, this needs to be something special. And when I saw Summer's Colorwork cuff, I immediately was like, oh my gosh, that beautiful magenta sock that Liz gave me, that needs to be this sock. So I stopped everything I was doing. Should I have done that? No. Did I have 5,000 things to do? Yes. But nope. Stop what you're doing at that moment. Go and cake up the Swanky Magpie Fibers yarn, as well as, thank goodness, I had just a nice, this is Cascade, so it's bulk. But it's just for so I wanted a pink magenta sock with white flowers. Okay, are you ready? Like I said, she just announced this last Friday. Can I put it on my blocker? No, I cannot, but that's okay. Oh, look, okay. Yes, there's, shocker, thread. Look at that. I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. And it wasn't even that hard. I mean, yes, you have to concentrate. This is not mindless. This is not mindless. This is concentrating. This is concentrating knitting, but it's got 6 different flower, because I'm doing the size, the 64, cast on size 9-inch circulars. That's my jam anyway, so we're good to go. I did change the pattern. I do my Shelly heel just because that's the heel now that I'm comfortable with, that I can do in my sleep. And can you believe how adorable that sock is? Yeah. I'm kind of excited about it. Yeah. You can do it. So if you were ever thought about diving into the world of sock knitting, get some Release Basic books, get some pretty yarn, do some vanilla socks, and then just jump into the deep end. Just do it. So I am going to go ahead and show you some yarn haul because we're in that segment. So we might as well stay on task, right? So that's the problem when sometimes you're away and you don't have all your things handy, because I was away for 16 days from the house. And so I didn't really have, and so I might have done some therapeutic shopping. So want to see? Let me show you some yarn haul. One thing I also wanted to show you is, these are the tins. These are my little gifts that I gave at Stitch Florida. It was this Life's a Stitch. Yes, I know it's not knitting, but it's perfect. It's a little metal tin that I had custom printed with the Life's a Stitch logo that I put on the April Keeper Club. But anyway, look, I have those are my toe needles, my Haya circulars ready to go. And this is one. This has got my little cheat sheet, and then the scissors. It can hold either one of these sizes. So I have one of these tins in every single one of my knitting bags. So as well as they're slowly being added to my stitching bags. Good thing I made them. I can collect them. So if you are interested in that, there's some of those on my website too. But let's go back. Let's dive into some yarn haul, shall we? Okay. So self-striping. I did a self-striping sock. Shelly and I got one at Market. It was so fun. It was beautiful. You get the stripes, but it's mindless. It's like the win-win, best of both worlds. And so when I saw this is a new to me yarn dyer. I haven't tried it yet, but the colors are gorgeous. Look at that. This is Nomadic Yarns. I will link her down below. So this is her trusty sock base. It's 75/25 and it's self-striping. The colors are called Good Luck Babe. Look at that. Okay, if you know, you know. Purples and oranges and pinks. Yes, I can't wait for that self-striping. I need to finish some of these socks. I don't know how many sock whips I should have going at once. I mean, should really other sock police? No, there are not. But I always need to have some that are in the easy go around because I like to just grab and go when I'm car riding. Anyway, this is, well, you know, couldn't travel alone. So Mama Jess Knits, she is new to me as well, but she had some, listen, Instagram, I don't know if they're being my helper right now, but they are showing me lots of things and unfortunately I'm adding lots to cart. So this is some beautiful, she had two like Christmas themed sock sets. Look at that. So yes, I was loving the one I had. I don't remember if I just didn't have it or what, or if I just needed more. It probably could have been both. And of course, pink and purple, love that. But then, okay, so the pink and purple is not a set. Well, of course I had to get the mini skein set to add for the contrasting heel, toe, and cuff, because that's like my favorite thing to do. And look at those solid colors. But now I didn't even know how great are these going to be. I need to go collect some more tonals so I'm ready for more cuff clubs, because they're going to be fabulous. There is another cuff club. The August had 2 patterns. The second one has like many more colors than just 2. So I wasn't prepared to just pick that one up and go, but it's super, super sweet. So I do need to maybe finish a pair before I start a new one. I mean, maybe, or not, who knows? If I start a new one, I might have to make some more project bags, but that's okay. I can do that too. Anyway, so that is the knitting. Yay. Okay. So let's switch gears. Okay, so it's cleaning up. The table's getting clearer slowly but surely. So I've got a little bit more haul to share with you that is not, it's kind of like random haul. And then we're going to do a little bit of life update and Tiger Lily shop update. And then the movie will be over. Okay, so then we'll be all caught up. And hopefully I'll be back to regularly scheduled programming every Flosstube Friday. But in the meantime, what other haul do I have or Stitchy kindness? So I got for the first time the Fat Quarter Shop Sew Sampler Box. Now, I have never gotten this before. I have seen some friends that have gotten it, and I was like, you know what? I think I need it now. I think it's time. So I was super excited to receive this for the first time. So I thought we'd do a fun little unboxing. Again, it's my first time, so here we go. So this is so sweet. This was the July box. It's Playful Summer. And it has, wow, 3 of this sweet 30s Playtime charm packs, which is super adorable, bright, fun, funky. Kind of looks like Lori Holt, is it? It's Moda, so it's not Lori Holt, but it's Lori Holt-esque in my opinion. Then there was also this super sweet, oh, how adorable is this little, it's a round bottom, little canvas tote. That'd be a good knitting bag if we want to be for real. That is adorable. There was also these foundation woven stars. Now I love Fat Quarter Shop's foundation paper piecing, and that is one. It's perfect. It's made for charm packs. Makes 4-inch blocks, and so the great thing about the Sew Sampler box is it all comes together, and that is to make this 5 stars table runner. How sweet is that? So you use some charms and then you make the stars. It's kind of like a mix and match. So sweet. The other thing in there is the Peaceful Baskets, block number 3. I have block number 1 and 2 coming because I am going to start that now that I'm now a sampler. And then you also got one of these. I have 2 or 3 of those already. These are super handy. I keep them over my sewing machine, pens, little scissors, seam ripper, unfortunately, all the things over by my sewing machine. Handy dandy. So that's what was in the Sew Sampler box. So that is super sweet, and it's a great bargain in my opinion. And so I don't know what took me so long to join, but I am super excited to join. The Peaceful Baskets really is what took me over the edge. So I was excited to get started with that. I want to get caught up, and so hopefully once a month I can add one of those blocks. I am not using the colorways that the block was originally designed in. I've got a different like pinks and reds Fat Quarter bundle, a couple of them, so I should have enough to go. I'm super excited. Hopefully this weekend maybe I'll get started on that. But in the meantime, I do have I had a package in the mail. This was super fun. So it was a surprise. So some Stitchy kindness. So my friend Sylvia, Running with Needles and Scissors, she is a gem, a doll, a beautiful person. And I was lucky enough to spend some quality time with her at Market this year. And we had so much fun, like so much fun. Tie and pie, ladies. So anyways, we had so much fun. And amongst other things, we had to procure this fabric. Anyway, she's like, so she's participating in Needlework Expo, the one in August, right? And she's dropping something new. I think it's going to be in August. It could be next year. I don't know. But anyway, so she used a fabric that I had procured at Market and ran around, and she is so sweet. I'm not going to show you to you, but she has a new design coming, and she gifted me a piece of the fabric back because she didn't use the whole thing, as well as like a kit of that chart. I'm not going to show you because it's up and coming. I'm so excited. But so that is beautiful in itself. What a surprise. I was so excited to come home, and there was like a present. It was like Christmas. But in that gift in itself was in the most beautiful, thoughtful, like, oh my gosh, present. And it's a Mount Vernon. So if you don't know, I live less than a mile away from Mount Vernon. I love it. I love history. I love George Washington. I love all the things. So Mount Vernon is like right there. We're his neighbors. We're George's neighbors. I mean, he's not there, but you know. And so she found this beautiful shaker box that has Mount Vernon on the cover. And it is signed by the artist from 1999. And it is the most beautiful shaker box I've had. It's my first shaker box. I don't have one. I've thrifted and tried to find one, or antique shopped and tried to find one. They are not the easiest things to find. But she said she found this and immediately knew who had to have it. And I was blown away. Thank you so much, Sylvia. I can't wait to find a beautiful place for this to be on display in my home. It won't even be in my craft room, in my studio. It will be in the home, because probably near some of my George Washington patriotic stuff, because it makes sense. But I love it. I love it so much. So, and I can't wait. We get to play again at Market next year. So that was super fun. So the other things I have for haul are me like antiquing / thrifting with Lily. Okay. So without getting to, July, bonkers, all over the place. Lots of Clemson, lots of things. College student turnovers and apartments and transfers and all the things. Hot mess express. It doesn't even matter. But that was the moral. It was my mom hat was on full mode, and it kind of still is, but we're getting settled, and she's thriving and having a great time. But that was occupied a lot of July. One of Lily and my favorite thing to do is thrift. And so we go thrifting, especially if we're working on decorating a home, an apartment, or, a place where we're living, where we like to buy it at a thrift store instead of, reuse, reduce, recycle. We're big on that, on all the things. So we spent lots of time in different stores. And so, of course, we're looking at all the things. You can't just go to one. I mean, Lily's looking at clothes, because she's, 19, and that's what they do. I'm looking at more home goody things, at the books, at the home decor, at the furniture, at the paint, all the other things. Anyway, so I found this gaggle collection I just wanted to share with you guys, because, if you're makers, I mean, can you even look at this book? This is a Singer sewing book. It's like a textbook. But it is the coolest thing. It is from 1979, so just a few years younger than me. And first of all, the colors and the cover, it just spoke to me. So it's just going to go on display. It's got beautiful things on the inside. Gorgeous. And then I got some other just fabulous quilt books. I don't know. I was just inspired, and I just sat there and I flipped through them, and there's just so many beautiful things. And I was like, maybe that's why the quilt bug is biting me a little bit. So that was some fabulous thrift store finds I'm going to add to my quilt book library. I am going to pull a book out this fall and make a quilt. There it is. I put it out there in the world. I'm going to make a quilt. I need to make more, because it makes me happy. But anyway, the other thing I found, and only you, my friends, would appreciate it, because everybody else I have shown is like, what in the world? But I know you, my fellow Stitchers, will appreciate what a treasure this is. So I'm at an antique mall, which I was super excited to find, in Anderson, South Carolina, which is about 30 minutes away from Clemson. We don't have any antique malls here in Mount Vernon, Alexandria area, not antique mall. We have thrift stores, but we don't have the antique malls. You have to travel for it. So I don't get to procure and explore those very often, but I found two in Anderson a couple days before I left, and I came back home, and oh my gosh, I scored some fantastic things. I showed you guys, if you follow on Instagram, you saw there were some Grumpy Susan. Well, they weren't Grumpy Susan, but they were EPP, grandmother EPP, quilt tops already done, sewn, gorgeous. I restrained. I did not buy one of them. I had total buyer's remorse. I didn't buy them. I was sad. Whatever that is. I was that the next day when I was like, why in the world didn't I buy those things? So I'm hopeful that they're there when I go back. I will, of course, go back. Now that I know that these places exist, they're a part of my agenda when I go to Clemson. I'm not quite sure Lily's going to be a part of the antique mall thing. She's more of a thrifter, but we'll see. Anyway, so I got some things more. It's all down at Lily's house. It was for the home store of some cute little lamps. These orange tape. It doesn't matter. This came home with me because did I need it? No, but did it need to come home with me? Yes. Okay. The lady who owned the booth was actually sitting there. She's like, I just brought that in. Da, 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 da. Do you see this? This is a needlepoint purse. Look at the stitching. Now, I know it's needlepoint. It's not cross stitch. I know all the sides, right? And then it opens up. And it's done on the inside. It's got the maker's tag. It was all hand done and made. It reminds me very much of like a Katie Strachan casket, which I mean, I don't know, it's not a casket, it's a purse, and it's needlepoint, and it's not the same. But just it's such a treasure. I don't know if I'm going to carry it as a purse. Probably not. What special accoutrement it's going to hold for me. I'm a big user of my things. And yes, I do display some things, but I mean, I bought this I want to give it life. I want to, it's probably going to hold a special project. I don't know what special project it's going to hold, but, and how it's going to be a project bag or what it's going to be when it grows up. But I knew it had to come home with me. And I knew that only you, my fellow stitchers, would be able to appreciate the beauty that is this. Can you believe it? It was fabulous. All right, friends, we're getting close to the end. Just a few more things for me to share for you this week, and then we will be caught up. I can't believe it. I'm so excited because truly, all these things that I have showed you have been in bags and boxes and bins all around the floor and the table of my studio. And so now I can put everything away, or at least pretend to put some stuff away, so I can use the table and get back to sewing the keepers. So we're going to do a little bit of life update, a little bit of shop update, and a little bit of that. So that's fun. So like I said, Tiger Lily Flosstube turns 3 this month. I mean, I can't believe it. That's so exciting. August 2021 is when I started. Like I mentioned a little bit before, that's when Noah went off to college. And it was me and Lily, and we were home, and I was kind of like feeling this empty void, like I needed to fill. And I had been a watcher, a participant on the viewing side of Flosstube for years. And I was like, let's just give it a whirl. What's the worst that could happen? Like, I could just randomly talk to myself on the phone, on the computer camera screen, and no one could watch except for my mother. But that's not what happened. I have enjoyed every minute of this, every moment, it's like this community, this family, this Tiger Lily family has just gotten bigger and better and more fabulous every single year. And I'm so excited. Okay, so this year, again, I'm going to just do a little thank you extravaganza type of giveaways I have collected. I've got a couple bigger sponsors that have sponsored some giveaways. So I'm super excited to be able to share those with you. So we're going to do this 2 weeks from today. So August 23rd. Friday the 23rd is going to be my Flosstube anniversary celebration party, all the things. Anyway, so get excited. I hope you stick around, join the fun, and get ready because there's more to come. I can't wait. More to come. So a little bit of Tiger Lily shop update. As you know, the July Keeper Clubs went out in July. They did go out early this time because I was traveling. So hopefully that was fun for you guys if you're in the club. If you're not in the club and you want to be in the club, join the waitlist. That's all I can say is join the waitlist as well as join my Patreon if you want. So all the links are down below. I do and have in the past notified my Patreon. I give them an early access 24-hour exclusive notice when the spots do open up. And historically, they've sold it out before it's even been able to go to just the traditional wait list. So that's the just transparent information for you. There's not a lot of spots that open up. The spots only open up when some people drop out. And of course, people drop out all the time. When you sign up for the club, my club is not one that you have to sign up for every year. My club is one that you're in it until you cancel. So I get questions about that. People are talking about 2025 club. Unfortunately, there's not like a new sign up. If you're in it, you're in it until you cancel, which is great for some. If the ones that are in it, they're in it. But it's sad for the others who don't get a chance to get in. So that is why the spots don't open up very frequently. That's why, and everything is made with my two hands. So there's only so many hours in the day and so many keepers that I can make because there are keepers in the club boxes. That's just the nature of the beast. So there are a few Advent spots left. If you were looking for a way to get a Tiger Lily keeper and you haven't been able to procure one until now, there are a handful of the Advent spots left. Those are the 12 days of Stitchmas, 12 gifts, Christmas themed Advent. There is a keeper at the end. So there's an exclusive keeper in there. So the link down below on that. But one thing I wanted to show you guys that I did a separate July unboxing video. So if you haven't seen what was in the July box, go check out that video. But one thing I wanted to show you guys here was, I love the keeper. I love it. But it was new. It's fabulous. It's fun. It was my heart. It's my love. Kind of a little vulnerable sharing it with you guys. But it's my first chart. Tiger Lily, I have been I'm going to call myself a baby designer. I did my little Sue bonnets and I did a couple ornaments and I did a couple tin toppers, right? To put on Lily's Lotion Bar tins. So there was all those things. But then I have been collecting and curating antique samplers for a couple years now because I love them and I love the history behind them and giving like if you've been around for a while, you know that repurposing and reinvigorating, giving new life to old pieces is part of like my mission, my mantra, my love. The vintage stitching keepers are my favorite, hands down. Because I'm giving new life to these table linens or these pillowcases or these tea towels that have a stain on them or that were living in a box under grandma's bed or living in a basement or in an attic or wherever they are. So now they get a new life. I feel like sometimes that's the same story with antique samplers. Sometimes the samplers go to some people that appreciate it and that's awesome. Sometimes they're just like, save the stitches and there's life, there's history, there's a story behind them all. And I'm having so much fun. And I released my first one in the July box. I thought, who am I going to do it to first? Is going to be to my keeper club. And so let me show you the model first. So this is Tiger Lily's first chart. This is called the Crown Family Sampler. The original was not a red sampler. It was a 4 or 5 different colors. I showed the original in the unboxing video. So if you want to see the original, go check out that video and you can see it. It's much bigger. The original was stitched in 1863 by a stitcher with the initials AR. Unfortunately, because there's only initials and there's no city and there's no nothing, I got it from the UK, but there was no way for me to find this stitcher. But when I saw this stitch, I immediately thought, that's gorgeous. I need it. I love it. I loved the crowns on top of the cartouches. And when it came to me, I've had it for over a year now. And I've been, looking at it and thinking about it and having it speak to me and tell me what it wants to be, if it wanted to be reinvented or if it just wanted to hang up, because there's a couple that just hang in my studio right now. That's one of the reasons why I haven't given you a studio tour, is because I have some of my antique sampler collection hanging on the wall and I'm not quite sure if I'm ready to share yet. But anywho, this one she spoke to me and I wanted her to be a red sampler. A red sampler, a monochromatic sampler, is one of my favorite things. It's an easy stitch because it's one color. It's perfect for trying out a new silk. It's easy stitching because you're not changing your thread colors. You're not doing all those things. So I did this as an adaptation. So it is not 1-for-1, 100% reproduction of the antique. And why is that? Because these cartouches and some of these motifs were over one. And as an original Ada stitcher, I am sympathetic to my Ada friends, because I still stitch on Ada. I showed you guys some Ada stitches just today in today's video. That over one stitching on Ada, yes, while it can be done, is not easy. That's just Let's just be real, okay? It's not easy. And over one stitching on linen isn't really that easy either, but at least the hole's there, right? So I wanted to adapt it so there was no over one stitching. So this chart has 0 over 1. It's all over 2 or one square. It's not over 1. It is Ada friendly through and through. And what I have done is I've made this a make it your own sampler. Now you can see that there are 9 sets of initials in here, and I can't, oh my God, Noah's in one and Lily's in another, and my parents and grandmothers and lots of initials. So this is I called it the Crown Family Sampler. I want you to make it your own. I wanted to make it your family, whether that's, relatives, kids, parents, aunts, uncles, or if it's your friends. If your friends are the family you choose, right? So that is what I envisioned for this. And so I've got a chart. It is in my website. You can get the chart. So the chart wasn't exclusive to the box. What was exclusive to the box was an exclusive Vicki Clayton silk that she dyed exclusively for the Keeper Club boxes. So they got a Vicki Clayton Tiger Lily Red silk, which is fantastic. It's gorgeous. I did something different for the website. If you wanted to buy this all kitted up and you wanted to try a new silk, I have procured another fantastic silk company. This was Treenway Silks. I met them at Market in March. They're a lovely hand-dye company in Colorado, and they have beautiful silks. So you have 2 different options in my website where you can get either 2 skeins. So these are 10 yard 6-stranded silks. You only need 2 skeins if you're going to stitch with 1 strand, whether you're using 16, 18, or 20 count. That will give you enough for you to get the whole thing stitched with just those 2. If you want to do a 2-strand stitcher, whether that's 14, 16, 28, 32, however you want to do, if you're going to use 2 strands, that's awesome. Then you're going to want to get the 4-skein kit. So I have it kitted up in 2 ways. One with just 3 ways. One is the chart, one is the chart with 2, and one is the chart with 4. So hopefully that's something if you wanted to join. I know I have a couple friends that have actually started a stitch along. I don't remember the hashtag, but that's fun. This is a real quick sampler. It's only just north of 6,000 stitches, which is not really that many. So just find some initials and go to town. Like I said, this is stitched on 36 count Bee Stitch Me sugar cream pie linen, but any neutral, lightish neutral, well, any really thing you want. Make it your own. I'm excited. So I wanted to just share that with you guys in case you hadn't seen it, in case you didn't watch that unboxing video. Sometimes that's not your cup of tea, but I wanted to bring that to your attention in case you've been following along on the Tiger Lily journey. That might be something that's interesting to you. So, okay, friends, that is it. Yes, look around one more time, take a survey. Am I missing anything? No. Yay. Okay, so we are here. We are at the end of the floss tube. I have caught you up. The Whirlwind July. I am back in August. I have no plans for August, which is fantastic. I mean, my plans are to work on the October box, to work on the Advent box. The plans are plenty. Don't get me wrong, but I will be in town. I will be here. Hopefully, I would love a little bit of normal life. That's exciting, right? Yes. Yeah. July was crazy. July. I don't even want to talk about it. It was bonkers. And of course, there was a car hiccup, but I can't even. The moral of the story is I got through it and whatever. Anywho, so that is all I've got for you today, friends. So until next time, I hope you have happy quilting, happy making, happy knitting, happy hooking, happy all the things. And I'll see you next time, friends. Happy stitching.